everyone, welcome to today's video. As the title may have already told you, today's video is all about trying out makeup hacks that are celebrity approved. Now, celebrities are the OG influencers and they have access to services and products that are the best of the best. Their makeup artists and professionals that they work with are also best of the best. And I have a feeling that might be where they pick up a lot of these tips and tricks from, if not, of course, coming up with something on their own. We're going to try out a few of these today, and I'm really excited for you to see exactly how I came about this final makeup look. There are some hits and there are some definite misses, so make sure you watch this video all the way till the end. Let's not make this intro any longer. Let's dive right into it. So I already have my base in place. I went ahead and prepped my skin today with my two favorite products. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream over here, which I love for my dry skin. And I have the Verified Lip Love Lip Oil. I have super dry lips and this literally is the only thing that works for my lips. After that, I went ahead and applied some skin tint. I'm using the Fenty Easy Blur Skin Tint. Now, even though we didn't have a hack per se for the base, this is a celebrity approved makeup product. The brand is owned by Rihanna. And I do enjoy using this product for that everyday kind of look. It's very sheer to mediumish kind of coverage. You can build it up further if you want to, but it's very nice and dewy. I like that about it, but I always land up setting this down with my airbrush powder from Verified because I feel like for the Indian weather, dewy looks great on camera, but it's not practical and conducive. So just giving you that little extra note on the side. Now let's go ahead and do the concealer because we have a celebrity hack for this one. So Katrina Kaif's video went kind of viral when she showed how she applies concealer for that lifted, brightened look. Of course, she was marketing the K Beauty concealer, which is quite a nice concealer. But today I decided to go ahead with one of my absolute favorites. This NARS concealer is one that I've been using for so long. And even though I bought this one in particular on my trip to the US earlier this year, I do believe they've come into India by the time this video is kind of out there. And I'm so happy to see the brand come into India because it is one that I really love. In case you're wondering, the shade I use in NARS for the concealer is Ginger, and for the foundation I'm a shade Barcelona that works for me really well. So just again giving you a little beauty side note. Now she starts with giving herself that lifted look by pulling the concealer up, and unlike so many of us, doesn't really fill it up. I might need to do that because I'm definitely a lot more warm and I'm a few shades deeper than her, but first I'm going to go ahead and do exactly what she's doing from the point of view of just giving it that outline. I want to double check. I think she pulls it up on the side under the contour as well. Just one second. Yeah, so she's definitely pulling it up under the contour, which actually is a really great way to accentuate your contour. Even if you're not doing the whole thing, just doing that little baking under the contour or this concealer under the contour is a great way to highlight that area and emphasize the contour. Now, of course, she has only done one side because they're showing that in the video that she's marketing K Beauty in. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and just add a little touch more on the inner corner, which is my problem area. When I'm doing my makeup and I'm looking for that little more natural look, I don't necessarily go out as much, like a little bit maybe, but I definitely fill up this inner corner a tad bit more because with grays and brown skin, that's just a problem that so many of us experience. I think my concealer is like literally almost getting over already. I have a new one from the trip. I think I picked up the one that I had from before. One of the other concealers I'm absolutely loving and smitten by right now is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and link and tag all these products over here on the video. That concealer is, I won't say completely crease free, but definitely crease resistant. Okay, now in the video, she goes ahead and uses her fingers to blend it all in. I have this weird thing about not using my fingers in makeup. I know that it can really work with the warmth and all of that, but A, I'm someone with long nails and I don't want to hurt myself. I look so funny right now. And B, I'm just really germophobic in that sense, so I avoid using my fingers wherever I can. I also think that the blender I have is like really nice and it just works for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. The only time I land up really going in with my finger is if I'm using a particular type of a glitter or eyeshadow that I think sits better with the finger, and then I'll immediately run to wash my hands or use a wipe or something like that. In case you're wondering, because I get this question a lot, the blender I'm using is a Verified sample. I have mentioned this countless times before. I have a fully approved sample that I love of the product. I've been working on it for over, I think, a year and a half, but I don't think I'm launching it anytime soon because it's just turning out to be a lot more expensive than I wanted it to be. So yeah, in case you are wondering what blender I'm using, I've answered your question. I always try and look up or keep my eyes really wide open, leaning towards this when I am doing my concealer. And again, don't drag, don't wipe. Essentially, make sure you are just touching it down, like dab 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 dab, not dab 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 dab, if that makes sense. Okay, this instantly definitely looks lifted. If you are someone with a slightly broader nose who is hoping and looking to contour the nose, I may not recommend this without actually using a contour. This will give a more brightened, open look to the way your nose is. So then just make sure you focus on the contour a little bit more. I don't typically contour my nose. I should. The few times that I have, I do kind of like it, but I don't know if I like it enough. Maybe I should do a video about trying things in makeup that I typically don't do and see how that works out. Leave a comment with this emoji if you think I should do that video. Okay, off the bat, I don't know about this area because I feel like that kind of looks the same, nicely concealed. But this definitely looks lifted because it's more brightened, especially on this side. You can see how it's like almost working in tandem with my cheekbone in that sense, which is kind of looking nice. On the under eye, I wouldn't say it does much for me. What do you think? I also feel like if you do this step, because I have tried this once before, without of course the whole, thing, I think it might look better after you've put your contour. These are just my observations. You can already see almost as if I already have a kind of natural hollow contour over here, but it does exaggerate it and emphasize it a little bit more because I have the concealer. But imagine if you did this after the contour, it would look even more emphasized. And the problem is, if you do this before and now later, if I go in and contour, which of course we will, what if I accidentally go into that part? So I feel like doing that after might be a good beginner's hack for you to keep in mind. I don't think it does much around the lip, if I may say so, because I'm actually someone that believes if you want your lip to look a little bit fuller, it might be better to contour the lip. Here we've highlighted the lip, so it's not going to give the shadow to make the lip look fuller even if you want it to work that way, because the product is doing exactly the opposite thing. So in my opinion, I think this is a great part to do. I think that this is something that's skippable. I think that this you should do only if you have a smaller nose. I have a smaller nose and I'm not big on nose contouring like I mentioned, and I think you should do this, but do it after you contour, or if you're not going to contour at all. I know I'm going to contour, so this is something I would typically keep for later. Okay, so I'm about to look really weird for the next makeup step, and that's because I've left some powder to just kind of sit, bake, and hold on to wherever we applied the concealer, except of course this area over here, which I told you already why. The powders I've used are a mix of Fenty's loose powder in banana and Verified's loose airbrush powder. I love the combination of these two, and yeah, I'm gonna look weird while we do the next eyebrow step. So for the eyebrow step, we're going to do what Priyanka Chopra does for her brows. So from the videos that I've seen, I think basically what Priyanka does is lifts up the brow hair. This strategically allows her to outline her brows in a way where the hair doesn't interfere with the process, which I think is really cool, really smart. I don't think that there's credit anywhere per se on who taught her this or which celebrity artist did this on her that she was inspired to continue and incorporate into her routine by. But we're going to go ahead and try and see. Just a little disclaimer, I have very thin to medium-ish brows. My brows definitely do not match one another. I have a better arch on one and I have a little bit more gap on the other one. Yet somehow I feel like whichever brow I typically start doing my makeup with lands up to be the easier one to do, and then the other one gives me like a little bit more effort it requires. So now that you know weird quirks about me with my brows, I'm gonna take my Precisely My Brow pencil from Benefit, very trusty. Oh my god, is it over? My pencil's over. Wait, it's okay. I have a whole stash of Benefit brow products. I'm gonna get a new pencil and be back in a second. Got my new Precisely My Brow pencil. I have this in number 5. Question of the day: do you guys choose an eyebrow product shade that is your brow hair color, one shade up or one shade down? Which way do you go? So far, I've been going for normal and maybe sometimes a touch deeper, but I feel like I want to experiment with lighter as well. I feel like that'll really bring out the color of my lenses. I can't say color of my eyes, color of my lenses. Okay, let's get to this. I'm using the number 7 angled with spoolie brush from Verified, lifting up the product. I need to pull my mirror closer. I have a really high power in my eyes, so I need to see things even closer sometimes despite having my lenses on. It is what it is. Bring it up, but I feel like with my hair, because it's so thin, I almost don't know where to draw the line, if that makes sense. Like maybe if you have thicker hair, you'll still see a little bit of a marker. Like on this side, I feel I still had some help, a little guiding line. But over here on the outside, I'm kind of playing blind. Okay, not gonna lie, that looks good. And then I'm gonna pull the hair down on the upper side hair, like where the upper border of my brow is. I think I went too archy on this one. Not Archie like the comic, Archie like RG. Looks very Instagram brow. It doesn't look natural. Not feeling so happy about the shape. What do you think? I mean, it was really easy, but I think it's going to be easier if you already have thicker brows. The true test of this is going to be how it performs on the other brow, because like I said, getting one brow down is still simpler. Getting both is the trick. I'm going to take some of the Gimme Brow Plus. What shade do I use this in? Number 6. And just kind of set this in place. In some videos, I felt like I saw her setting something down and I wasn't sure what it was. And in some videos, like it just ended on her doing that. So, okay, I like it. Wow, now I'm saying I like it. Isn't she confused? I do think that you need to, if you have like super thin brows, it's gonna super thick up your brows and that might look very artificial. So that's where I become a little bit of a skeptic. I have medium brow like thickness over here on this part, and then over here I was playing blind a little bit. So let's see how it does on this brow, and then I'll give you exactly like my precise thoughts. Pushing it up. This brow is a little bit thinner. Can you see that? I mean, now you can obviously not see the difference because the other one is done. See, now here I'm playing super blind because I just have some hair and there's no definitive shape. So I find that easier to do with like a powder typically. For me, my go-to brow product right now, ever since I came back from the US and I got this from them, if you've seen that huge PR haul, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I'll leave a link in for you. It's this one, this goof-proof brow powder, which is basically the powder version of the pencil that the brand has. It's just everything. Benefit is one of my favorite brands when it comes to brow products. I don't know if this is going to work on this brow. We're giving it a go. Okay, so my camera heated up and switched off, as you could see. But basically getting this brow to match this brow was a little bit of a problem. I already mentioned my issue with brows in general, and I feel like these don't just look like sisters, not twins at this given point. I feel like they look like cousins. Like, they are not looking very similar at all. So this is something I would recommend only if you have really thick hair all over your brow, which means you have good markers and guidelines to follow to give your brow the kind of shape that you are otherwise looking for. One of the things that did kind of surprise me in the middle was the brow stencils. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link into that particular shorts video that I posted down below, because I was kind of, oh wait, okay, with that. Especially for beginners, I'm gonna give that a little holler. Okay, I've moved my mirror at the back. Next up, we have a mascara hack, but for that I need to apply my eyeshadow first. What I'm gonna do is take some ginger tea from Verified. I find this super useful for that perfect natural wash. It gives me that very neutral, natural tone on my lids that matches my skin tone perfectly. Actually, I've used this on much lighter friends and much deeper friends as well, and it works really well for absolutely everybody. It's an airbrush powder. See what I mean? Just that perfect, nice, natural wash. Okay, now that we've got this out of the way, we're going to go ahead and wipe off this bake from earlier. I don't know if you've already guessed what the mascara hack is going to be by now, but I'm sure that the product in my hand is a little bit of a spoiler to that. I have the Rare Beauty mascara over here. So the hack that we're going to try today is Selena Gomez's hack on using tweezers to perfectly accentuate her lower lashes. Now, lower lashes are a bane to a lot of people's existence when it comes to applying mascara on them, because I have friends who will very often, and sometimes I will too, actually get the mascara smudged on my, lower lash line. I land up spoiling that sometimes. Then you end up have to clean it. Make sure you always clean your mascara after it has dried down, because if you clean it while it's wet, it's just gonna look like panda eyes after a while. What I'm quickly gonna go do is apply this mascara on like my upper lashes, and then we'll get to the lower lashes and try the hack. I had really mixed feelings about this mascara. By the way, when I started out, I at first felt like it was giving me a very natural, kind of look. Then when I learned to work with the brush, because I feel like every mascara wand is so different, like especially these newer kind of mascaras, I realized that okay, wait, this does in fact give me really nice curl and volume. I don't know about length, but definitely does add some curl in there, so I like that about it. And I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's my like absolute favorite. It is a really good product and also available in India now. but I really do like it in general. Rare Beauty prices in India are so different and so much higher than the prices everywhere else. Kind of heartbroken about that because I want some refills and I'm like, should I just wait till someone's flying down? Okay, now I'm just a little bit nervous about doing this because obviously I've never taken a tweezer and gone into my lashes in this way, but I'm like pretty much grabbing my lashes. But if you've seen the way Selena does it in the video, she looks like she's got practice doing it and that she's like getting all up in there. I've already gone ahead and got a little bit of a smidge on the skin, but okay. I think what this is gonna work with is separating the lashes. They look lesser, but they look more barbied out, if you know what I mean. The volume is definitely gonna go for a toss because you're gonna mix up at least 3 to 4 strands is what I'm trying to say, to just get that one in definition. Yep. I wish I could say I pulled out one hair, but this is 3 lashes here. Off the bat, I want to stop doing this. 1, 2, and 3. Yep. I'm rejecting this one right away. No, I'm not continuing with this. I'm sorry. This is a fail. This is a complete fail. Apply your lashes in a messy manner. That's okay if you are messy. At least you'll still have your lashes. No. I was worried about that. I thought about that and I said, don't say it out loud. You will manifest it for yourself. And even just thinking it clearly brought it to life. Yeah, no. This hack is a fail. Use your mascara as intended. Tweezer mat karo, please. I feel like if you do with more lashes what I did with 3, the heartbreak will be worse. Yeah, it's a tad bit messier, obviously, because this wand is really, really thick. But that's okay. I'd rather have my lashes than what just happened. Also, like I said, I'm gonna try and zoom in and see. I don't know how much I can zoom in, but if you look really closely, it looks like they're definitely more defined on this side where I did use the tweezer, but that's also because they're clustering 3 to 4 lashes together, so you're completely taking away volume in that sense in exchange of more definition. This is a mess. I'll take this over this any day. Moving on. Okay, this next one I'm very excited about because we're prepping lips. I'm wiping out the lip oil I had at the beginning because I always wipe my lip oil before I go in with any lipstick, but this hack in particular tells you not to do that but with a different oil. So I saw a video of Sonam Kapoor's where she basically says that she applies coconut oil on her lips.
I use coconut oil on my lips.
This is something she leaves on and doesn't wipe off while going ahead and applying her lipstick. I'm really curious about how this works because I'm someone that just always wipes off the lip oil because I want the lipstick to just, maintain its complete potency with opacity and all. The Nariyal Tel I'm using is literally just Parachute. I've got a cotton swab over here, taking a little bit of it. And she says you just need a couple of drops apparently and let it sit there. Okay, I feel like I need more. And we're not going to wipe this off, which is what I'm really curious about. So while we let this coconut oil just sit, apply my blush. And then we have a highlighter hack. The blush I'm using is the Charlotte Tilbury one. The exact shade for this is the Pillow Talk Peach Pop. Now I've tried this before as well and I feel like I have mixed feelings because with cream blushes and really mostly any cream blushes, you have to make sure that the amount you take is just right. You can't take too much and obviously you can't take too little or it won't show. This is really not part of the hack, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick application and also tell you why I'm opting for a cream blush instead of a powder one today. Oh, and I've completely skipped the contour because I realized that I don't have a contour hack and I think that the concealer thing is really just doing its work. So I did have a contour hack in general, but it wasn't a celebrity one. So I guess I'm gonna save that for another video. Keeping it very natural. I love this shade on me for sure. I just feel like you absolutely have to make sure you work with the product when it comes to taking the right amount, and blending immediately is a given when you're trying a cream blush or a liquid blush. The Rare Beauty ones are one that I really like, and I also really like the Hina Henna liquid ones, which I think are very easy to work with. Okay, so the reason I opted for a cream blush today is because we're going to be working with a liquid highlighter. The hack that we're going to try out next is taking your highlighter and applying it all over where your blush sits, which would be impossible to do with a liquid or cream highlighter over a powder blush unless you're using the verified blushes, because those are super finely milled and I can take guarantee for that. Sorry, shameless plug, but it's true and it is what it is. The hack that we're trying is basically a little snippet from Hailey Beiber's makeup routine, and I feel like it's just really interesting and worth giving a shot. I have Boy Tears from Hindash over here. This is a use any way you want kind of a highlighter. I've used this multiple times for the inner corners of my eye, and I love the way it sits there. I'm about to try this for the first time on the face, and literally going all over my blush with highlighter feels wrong in my head, because I feel like it's streaked over here. Can you see it? This is what I mean. With cream products, you have to just work with them. They're not as flexible and as forgiving as powder products. A lot of people ask me, even with Verified, why aren't you doing cream products? Why aren't you doing cream products? Well, it's because even cream products need the powder products to make them like kind of sit there for longer hours. Again, coming back to just genuine practicalness, especially with Indian weather and climate. And also, I feel like for pros or for beginners, powders are just irreplaceable. It is what it is, even for someone with dry skin like me. This is the first time I've applied highlighter all over my brush region. Feels a little weird, but not gonna lie, it looks really not like, I won't just say nice, but like juicy. It is looking very different from my usual style, because I typically tend to apply highlighter just a little bit where required, only on the high points. I don't go all over ham like this. Also, my usual style of applying makeup is matte on the base and then dewy on top. So seeing dewy on dewy for me is not my usual. But you know what? If I was just sitting at home in the AC and not stepping out and keeping things just for Instagram, then sure, why not? Again, I'm not wiping, I'm like patting it away, dabbing, not dragging. See the flake here. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see this here. Hate when that happens. Is it different? Yeah. Is it weird for me? Yeah. But is it looking nice? Yeah. Okay. It's making my skin look like super juicy and very beamy. I just want to fix that little extra beam corner. I wouldn't do this from a realistic standpoint. Looks great on camera, sure. So I guess it gets a yes for on camera and a no for real life. Would not necessarily recommend. Last but not the least, I feel like you must have seen this coming, because it's one of those hacks that went viral everywhere, especially in India. Oh, I'm not supposed to wipe the oil. I'm so used to wiping the oil. We are going to try Alia Bhatt's very weird lipstick application technique / lipstick hack. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I have the Verified Bullet Lipstick in Chabot over here with me, which has been one of our best sellers. Side note, I'm sorry, but not meaning to plug this in, but meaning to answer some of your questions. I get a lot of questions every single day on my page, my platforms, as well as Verified. When are the Bullet lipsticks going to be restocking? Very honestly, we're just facing some issues on specific raw ingredients, and there are alternatives out there, and there are slightly substandard alternatives out there, but I don't want to opt for those. Obviously, I'm very quality conscious, so we'd rather stay out of stock for a while longer, unfortunately, which is a loss to our business because we're unable to sell goods to you in that much time. But I'd rather bring to you the same standard than bring to you something slightly substandard because of a raw ingredient issue just for the heck of selling something. I'm not here for the cash grab. Your trust means a lot to me, and even if it means we take a few months more, it's going to be a little bit longer till I get exactly what I want back. In the meanwhile, I'm also taking that time kind of as an opportunity to work on a few inner packaging details. Some people had certain feedbacks that we're working on simultaneously, so just give me some time, please. When it comes back, it'll be even better, not even just as good. That you have my word on. Anyway, coming to the hack and the point of this video before my battery runs out or something again, taking Chabot, and I feel like this is going to be a little bit complicated for me because I don't know if I'm good at the but in addition to that, I also have coconut oil on my lips, so let's see how this plays out. Basically, Alia Bhatt just keeps her lipstick in the same spot, and instead of moving the lipstick around, moves her lip and face kind of around to get the application right. Here goes. Oh wait, I was about to start applying it. I need to try this again. 1 second. My hand is in the exact same spot, huh? Like, even I'm surprised. But then see, the corners are left. I don't know how much further I can push my lips, so I'm just gonna for the corners. I don't think I can sustainably do this as a routine. Like it's not making my life simpler in any way. Is it a cool thing, gimmicky thing to show on camera? Sure, but it doesn't really like, yeah, but more control. By the way, if you want to get your hands on Chabot, the exact same in liquid version is carrot caramel cake from our liquid lipstick collection. Would highly recommend you check that out if you love Chabot, of course. And if you're also missing it, like so many of my friends and family are. Okay, and with that, I feel like we can now do a complete pass ya fail version of what hacks truly worked and which ones didn't. The mascara and lipstick are straight up fails for me. I feel like they don't make my life simpler, they don't make my routine simpler, they're not something I see myself sustainably bringing into my routine. The highlighter is nice, interesting, could work editorially, could work for camera, would not be something I would wear into everyday life, is what I'm trying to say. The brows are definitely interesting, and if I have thicker hair, especially like once I'm, because we're all in the middle of growth spurts with our brows and facial hair and hair in general, I feel like it could be something that could work. If you have thicker hair, definitely give that one a go. And the concealer one, I feel works, especially for this area and this area. The middle one, I think, is just a little bit for the camera in that sense. Wow, okay. With that, we come to the end of this video. This entire face pretty much has come from celebrity approved makeup hacks. If you want me to do more such videos, go ahead and let me know down below in the comment section. I love you very, very much. Thank you for always coming back for more videos. Make sure the bell button is hit, and so you get alerts for whenever I upload new videos, new shorts. And I'm always reading, liking, hearting, and responding to all of your comments. So keep them coming. Keep suggesting, keep giving feedback. I'd love to know what you think of this, the lights, the new camera, everything. I'll see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye!